Gaia has a message to transmit today. And the conversation is going to start with a discussion about grounding. And she wants us to know the importance of being in these human forms. That as we walk the earth, that we need to consciously ground into her. That we have many ways of grounding. That we can see ourselves grounded through our feet in our walking on a daily basis. We can see our grounding coming through a cord from our root. And even though it isn't grounding to her, that there's importance of grounding above as well, so that we are connected above and below. She wants to talk about the grounding through our feet, that we are living in worlds with so many products that keep us from truly grounding, that we don't live on earthen floors anymore, most of us, and that the majority of surfaces that we walk on inside are not grounding. Rocks are grounding, but by and large, when we walk indoors, we are connecting via the rugs and wooden floors, and those are not surfaces that allow us to ground. And then when we go outside and we wear shoes that have rubber on them, that is a very nice protection surface, a substance, but it does not allow us to ground. So if we can have opportunities to walk barefoot, walking barefoot in the wet grass, walking barefoot on the beach, having shoes that are more of a moccasin type shoe with a leather sole. She's trying to transmit if there are other surfaces, other substances that will allow for grounding. And she's showing me cork, but cork is kind of a rubber, so I'm not sure if that's a substance that would work for grounding or not. But maybe cork. Maybe she's showing me yet again cork. So there may be something with that kind of substance that might work instead of leather. So getting out and walking outdoors barefoot, walking with leather-soled shoes, sitting with our back to a tree is incredibly grounding, just sitting on the earth in general and allowing ourselves to connect via our root. Seeing the importance of a very wide cord going down as opposed to a small one. And I have been receiving guidance about the need for the self-talk that we have, that sometimes being in these human forms can be very difficult. And there can be this self-talk that says, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be doing this, I don't want to be here, I don't want to be doing this. I mean, I'm repeating it because this self-talk is very repetitive. And that impacts our grounding, our ability to truly bring grounding down this cord. And so being aware of all of the things that impact our ability to ground, and sending this grounding cord deep into the earth, asking Gaia's permission, and then seeing this wide grounding cord as wide as our body, and really giving attention to the fact that it's wide, that it is not a small rope. It is a very wide, like a small tree, that sort of diameter. It is generous. And it brings us down to the depth of the earth. And we send energy down to that cord. I've been seeing it as love that goes down that provides such a lovely foundation for us and provides love into the earth, and then receiving energy up the grounding cord. And this is such an important way of connecting on a daily basis. So when we walk outside and we connect with our feet, and then we connect in meditation with this grounding cord, or sitting at the base of a tree, all of this will bring us in greater connection to our bodies, into our human form, which is so important. This current world is very ungrounded, is very unhealthy in the way that we connect to ourselves and to each other and to this planet. And grounding is going to be what is going to get us through these turbulent, tumultuous times. That if we can come back to ourselves, if we can come back to the earth, we're going to be okay. Ultimately, we're going to be okay, even if life is challenging. But this is what is going to bring us through these times. And seeing ourselves in connection and communion with a community of people where we are all connected to Gaia is going to make us so much stronger, that we can be here and do the work that we are here to do when we are in community and we are all grounded. That is a novelty, and she is calling on us to create these grounded communities, both in the sense of a livelihood that is based upon a sacred expression of our soul's work in this lifetime, but then also on a very practical, physical, energetic level, that we are grounded into the earth, that we can feel our roots into the earth, that we have released those blockages that are keeping us from truly grounding, and becoming a very clear channel for divine energy to flow through our bodies into this expression of our human lives. As we connect with people in this way, it is transformative. This is connecting in the old ways. This is connecting in the ways of our old ancestors throughout the world, where we can connect deeply into the earth and we can listen to her guidance. We can connect to the plants and the trees, to the stars, and to ourselves, that we can trust the energy that comes through our bodies and know the direction of our lives with true clarity and guidance, that we are not alone in this process, that we connect to each other and to the earth and to source, however we conceive of that energy flowing into our bodies. And in this process, as we connect to our hearts, that we remember our connection to all of these different ways of energy coming into this planet, that we can see it through the stars and through the oldest of the trees, that we can see it through the rocks and the water, these ways of understanding the world, that we are not connected, we are not disconnected from, that we are part of all of these things. We carry all of these energies within our human selves, within our cells, and our heart beats to the rhythm of these different energies as they flow into us, that we remember ourselves in this way, that we can see the flow of energy as it spirals down into us, spirals up into us, and that we connect into our heart space. That we connect into our heart space over and over and over again, that we remember that this is our connection to ourselves and into Gaia and to divine, and that we connect to others in this way, whether we conceive of them as alive or not, whether we see the aliveness within a plant or a stone, that we can connect with our heart, and then we connect to others